What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase, and today we are taking a look at Harleen. It just came out this last Wednesday, and I finally got around to reading it. This is actually I think it's like 50 pages, and it takes a little bit to read. So I finally got around to reading it, finished it, and I gotta say, first impressions, I really liked it. And the more I thought about it, my excitement is still high, don't get me wrong, but I kind of toned it down a little bit. Okay, so I started thinking a little bit more on the old school Harley Quinn and kind of comparing it to that, and because this is really a Renaissance story. It's kind of bringing back that who Harley Quinn really is. And I gotta say, Stjepan Šejić, I'm pretty sure is how you say his name, does a really good job. Artwork is obviously amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside Harleen. Alright, so we have Harleen. Beautiful cover by Stjepan Šejić. No, Stjepan Šejić. Stjepan Šejić. That's how his name is hard to say, okay? It's Stjepan Šejić. I mean, you be the guess right there. So we have a beautiful cover by him. Okay, I just gotta get one thing off my chest. First off, totally beside the point. I'm doing like those makeup tutorials where they put the hand, okay? This is an awesome pen. Let me tell you why. Because when I came in here to do this video, I saw that this pen was open, and it had been open for probably a week. And then check it out. For those who might freak out by me doing that, it still writes beautifully. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. It was open for a week and it still writes awesome. By the way, if you don't know, you don't know. That's Billy. I did a comic back in high school, and he was one of my characters. So for all my artist friends out there, Sharpie pen is a great sketch pen. So highly recommend. Anyway, let's get to the video. We got Harleen right here. And one of the reasons I like this cover is this cover, you can look at it for a while because it tells you a lot by leaving you confused as well. That's one thing I just love about this cover. However, let me tell you what I don't like about this cover. I am a fan, and I hate this matte kind of finish on the covers because it collects fingerprints like a crime scene investigator. It's horrible. I mean, as I'm reading it, like you can see, this is the copy that I read, but I don't know, I kind of cleaned it up pretty good, but like you would see here, like my oils and my fingerprints. Probably see it on the back a little bit better, like especially on the spine here. Because I would literally, when I was reading it, I would hold it on the spine like that, and then right there on the glossy part, and then I would go through it, and that's how I would read it. So it's got this like UV spot finish. I think that's what they call it, where it's kind of glossy, but then it's matte and gloss. Like you see that on the back here. So, but the reason I hate it is because it turns out, like this is Death Note. It's the same kind of finish, and you see how bad that looks. Like I would read it, and I would hold it in my hands, and the oils and my fingerprints got all over it, and you can't get it back to its original pristine look. Which, if you're a collector, my advice, get one of these to save, and then get another one to hold on to. That's what I did. So this is the variant. So that's the variant. So that's what I did. I got this one to kind of keep pristine, and then this one to read. The format of this is, it's called well, I think it's called magazine format. So this is a normal comic book right here, so you can see kind of the difference. This is basically like an 8.5 by 11. So I actually really like it. It really feels like, it really feels, I want to say luxurious. Like it feels like you're just reading something really special. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive in to this book. I'm not going to give away any spoilers because when I really like a book, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to start giving away things. So this book starts off, and it's got Stjepan Šejić's art all in it. He wrote it, he drew it, and I believe he colored it because I couldn't find the credits for colored, so I'm pretty sure he colored it too. And the great thing about Stjepan Šejić is he is a normal guy. Like, I did a Twitter check on him in one of my previous videos, and it was just scroll, him just talking about cool things, promoting his art, his books, all that. He's just a very cool, down-to-earth guy. And he doesn't have me blocked. I'm not blocked by him, so even cooler. So anyway, this is going back to the roots of Harley Quinn. And again, what's great about this book is there is no SJW nonsense anywhere in this book. There's no gender identity questioning or, discussions or where, what do you call it? What's the other one? Identity politics. That's what I'm trying to say. Or just like Orange Man bad, or trying to send you the political undertones and of current day, and it's no. And that's what's gonna make this book in 10 years still hold up, because this is a self-contained. This is a story. This is a story for you to read. So a little of the plot. We have Harleen Quinn, and she is just out of college, pretty much starting into being a psychiatrist and psychotherapy. And she's here presenting a theory, a hypothesis that she has, in which she is basically saying that empathy can be, I should say this, that empathy can die out in a person. So they could have no empathy at all, basically kind of leading them into becoming sociopathic or antisocial, which those disorders, that's one of the key aspects, especially antisocial personality disorder, is an inability to sympathize with people. Like, you could see somebody is hurt, but you literally, it's not that you don't care, it's that it doesn't even matter to you. Like, it doesn't affect you in any way. A really good example of this is Dexter. Okay, if you've ever watched that show, like, there's instances where he's about to kill who he's gonna kill. He'll ask them questions. like how do you fake being happy all the time? Like, what's your secret? Like, trying to get tips on how to come off more normal, which is, it's hilarious if you haven't seen it. But anyway, that's the theory. So we have Lucius Fox here, who you don't know it's him right now, but later on you do, who is basically listening in and kind of finds what she's saying is interesting. This is not your classic superhero comic, just to put that out there. This is more of a drama and a character study of a person, and that person is Harleen Quinn. I just want to point out something real quick. Like, when I was reading this, I was starting to really get engrossed into the story. And I literally, this is such a harsh transition, because she's out of the pulpit, boom, boom, and now she's at a bar. So there's transitions in film in which, like, one transition could be like you have an image of a triangle, and then the next image is something similar to that of a triangle, but it's in a completely different place. That's a transition. that has the audience follow along. Another transition used in film, really, is sound transition. So you'll hear you'll see a scene, but then you'll hear a name being called off. And then the next scene is that person finishing saying that phrase or whatever it was they were saying. So that's what happens here. We have this, and then I could literally hear the glass of beer being put down on the table or slammed on the table. So that was really cool. I noticed it. I don't know if that's super common in comics, but for some reason that stood out to me. And I thought that was really cool use of not using a visual, but using a sound as a transition to another panel, especially in a comic book. Anyway, obviously great art. Joker shows up, and yeah, and then she's kind of having a flashback as she's seeing him, because she's immediately just like oddly attracted to him. It's not like she likes him, but she's just oddly really attracted to him. I've heard theories out there saying, because there's been commentary on how Joker looks, that he's like very suave and dapper looking. And the theory is that it's not that he looks like that, but it's how she sees him. She sees him like that. So, which I think is actually a pretty fair theory. It's interesting. But yeah, getting back to the beginning, to kind of tell you what the actual plot of the story is. So we get Lucius Fox here, and then later on what happens is he approaches her and says, hey, I really liked your theory on the empathy deal. We want to give you a grant from the Wayne Enterprises to go ahead and look more into this. What else can you find? And you can study at Arkham Asylum. And so that's where she goes. She gets a job at Arkham Asylum. We get a little foreshadowing there. Oh, and by the way, all of these bubbles here are actually, they're her thoughts, but they're not of her thoughts at the present. So it's actually a future Harley that's kind of retelling this story. So all these thoughts are actually from her in the future of who she actually becomes. And so, yeah, then cool shot there, her walking into Arkham Asylum. And then I just can't resist. But so spoiler, at the very end, she does meet Joker, and he says, please, doctor, call me Jay. And then she finally says, very well, Mr. J. Which obviously, if you're a Harley fan, that's what she always calls the Joker. She always calls him Mr. J. So, which I thought was a cool touch. So anyway, really good book. Definitely, I recommend it, and I will obviously be following up with book 2 and book 3. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's not a new telling of Harleen, but it's kind of, I feel like it's a more in-depth kind of review of her backstory. So yeah, I really liked it. Go pick it up. And shoot, if you didn't like this book, you gotta tell me why. I can't even, like, Chase, it was too simple. I can't even think of a negative, like super negative thing to say about it to actually throw out ideas of why it might be bad. So if you liked it, definitely let me know. If you didn't, let me know that too. So anyway, if you haven't already, like this video. It definitely helps the channel, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.